I have finally discovered the most durable hiking shoe ever made. This is the evolution of all of the backpacking and hiking shoes that I've ever worn. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the shortcomings that they each have individually, also the failure that they share all together, and I'm going to be sharing with you the shoe that I've discovered that solves all of the problems. So the one thing that all of these shoes have in common as far as the failure goes is the durability of the materials that it is made with. Each and every one of these shoes has the exact same type of cushioning and or foam in and around what holds on to your ankle and your heel, and when that foam begins to wear out, you'll begin to see the tear spots like this that will cause rubs and blisters. This is a pair of Topos. The same thing happened on this pair of Merrells, less than 100 miles. On the Ultras, it began to wear out back here on the back of the heel. None of these things are good things or things that you want to deal with when hiking and backpacking. Now, my whole journey started as a rookie backpacker, not quite knowing what I was doing and listening to everything else out there that I was following. And so I first started hiking in a pair of Zero shoes. And Zero shoes are exactly what their name says that they are. They are a zero drop shoe, but they also have zero support. It is basically a rubber sole that you're standing on, and when you're hiking or backpacking in a shoe like this, you're going to feel everything that you step on. If you hit your toe on something, you're gonna feel it. And the result of me wearing these shoes after only 30 miles was hiker's toe. And if you don't know what that is, you lose both of your big toenails. They turn black and they will fall off, so I had to get rid of them. So after doing a little bit more research, I discovered that most people out there on the Appalachian Trail were hiking in Altra Lone Peaks. Now, Altra Lone Peak is a trail runner, and they have designed the shoe with a few features that I really did like. It does have an ultra wide toe box here, and as far as the way your foot sits in the shoe, it sits nice and level, which I don't mind whatsoever. The failures that I had when it came to the Altra Lone Peaks was, number one, durability. After only 100 miles, I felt like the middle of the shoe has been compressed, and you can literally see the markings on the sole of the shoe and how they show to be slightly compressed, and I started to feel a lot more of the stuff that I was stepping on, not the comfort that I wanted. And even after 100 miles, I started to see some wear and tear around the cushioning around the ankle here, and also the front of the shoe. The toe box would start to separate right up here at the top of the toe box. So there was some durability issues. However, it was still a problem with comfort that I had on the trail. So I had to get rid of them. So after going back to the drawing board, I found Topo. And Topo is a company that was beginning to come on the scene and start to take over some of the market share that Altra was doing out there as far as hikers went. And at first I had the Topo Pursuits, and those are a fantastic shoe, great durability, everything about them I liked, and then they stopped making them. So these are the Topo Pursuit 2s. And the problem that I had with the Topo Pursuit 2s after hiking the majority of the Appalachian Trail in these things is when you first get them, fantastic fit, fantastic comfort, and as far as the midsole goes, they didn't have the problem that the Ultra did where they would get compressed. Where I did start running into issues was the durability. So these shoes here have hardly any miles on them, but some of the Topos that I wore, the first thing that would happen was they would wear around the ankle. This would start to wear out here, and then also in the heel. Then I started having problems with the side of the upper completely separating from the shoe in the toe area around the big toe on this side and around the pinky toe on this side. And I had even one pair split completely open on the side and made them completely unusable. So as far as comfort went, Topo had solved my issues, but as far as durability goes, they still had some of the durability issues after only 300 miles that a lot of the shoes that I was already utilizing. And when you're spending somewhere in the $150 to $160 for a pair of shoes, you want them to last longer than 300 miles. So Topo also designed a shoe that is supposed to be made for through hikers, and the Topo Traverse, right? So these shoes do have a few hundred miles on them, and you can start to see some of the wear and tear that they already have. So this shoe has already worn out right here. And what happens is when this stuff starts to wear out, it exposes a harder ridge right here that will cause rubs and things like that on your foot. But again, they had the same durability issue. So the Traverses started having durability issues with the front of the toe box coming loose, and so that the entire bottom of your shoe can peel off. But the worst part that I had with the Topo Traverses is also the material that's on the side, especially since the toe material is so hard and this is so soft. This would tear away from this material and cause holes, cracks, and rips in the side of the shoe, again causing durability issues to the point where you can't continue to use them. So I had to keep searching for other shoes. Now, I did have a company reach out to me called Astral, and they sent me a pair of shoes that I attempted to use for the entirety of the Colorado Trail. However, we had a failure in the shoe. Halfway through the Colorado Trail, the bottom of the shoe completely separated, and I was no longer able to use it. And this is where I discovered a new shoe that has become my favorite shoe because of its durability. Introducing the Norda 001 series of shoes. Now, these are the shoes that I bought halfway through the Colorado Trail. They now have well over 300 miles of them, finishing the Colorado Trail and all of the other trips that I've done since then. These are the new Norda 001As. This is the 001 and this is the 001A shoe. Now, the amazing part about the Nordas, as you can see, that this shoe with well over 300 miles, even though it's highly dirty, still has absolutely zero rips and tears along the side of the shoe. And you ask, how does that happen? Well, because it's made out of one of the strongest materials that's even 10 times stronger than steel, and that's Dyneema. It is a complete solid upper that has no seams the way that it's sewn together. It is completely one piece. And that Dyneema upper prevents rips and tears from happening when you're rubbing against rocks, sticks, roots, or any of those type of things. Now, I'm so impressed with these shoes because even though I've got well over 300 miles on them, they still show no signs of me being able to wear them out. Where all of the other shoes that I've ever worn start to have failure in and around the ankle part. This is what locks the shoe into your foot. Now, Norda has a couple unique designs. Since this is all a one-piece upper, right? When this Dyneema is tied around your foot, it is super, super secure. But because it's Dyneema and not cushioning, and it's also not, made out of foam and or other, plastics and stuff like that, it does not wear out. It will not come apart. And there's also a heel lock bump on the inside of the shoe that heel lock helps hold the shoe in firmly around your foot. And as far as traction goes, here's what the traction looks on like a brand new pair of Nordas, okay? It is one of the most aggressive patterns that I've ever seen. It almost has little like golf looking cleats on the bottom of this Vibram sole. Now, here is what a sole that looks like that I've already put 300 miles on. Still, plenty of traction left in this shoe. They've also put a very heavy duty rubber sole up here, so when I hit or kick a rock, I didn't have any issues with it hurting my feet. And the way that the Vibram sole is made, it still, after 300 miles, is very, very responsive, and there's plenty of cushion. I've literally felt little to no collapse as far as the comfort goes in these shoes. So they may look dirty, but they're still riding good, and I'm still gonna be able to get a lot more mileage out of this pair. As a matter of fact, the more that you break in the shoe, the more comfortable and flexible the material gets, and the better the shoe feels on your foot. Now, as you can see, the toe box has a lot of wear and tear, but it's not coming apart. It's getting chipped away a little bit, but I have no fear of this actually separating from the bottom of the shoe. Even though little pieces of rubber might have some wear and tear on them, this bottom of the shoe has not separated from the toe box whatsoever. Now, these Norda 001s are no longer available. However, I have purchased a pair of the 001As because these are the ones that replace the 001s. And what Norda has done with this shoe is they have improved the midsole even more to make it a little bit more responsive, and it's supposed to last even longer. So I'm not done with this pair of 001s at all. As a matter of fact, over 300 miles, I'm gonna try to get somewhere between 8 and 1,000 miles out of this one pair of shoes before I even switch to the 001As. However, the construction and the upper is made exactly the same. The aggressive tread is made exactly the same. So I'm super excited to try these shoes, but I'm not gonna do it until I wear these ones out first. So, should you be spending $150 to $180 on a pair of trail runners that are gonna last you only 300 to 400 miles? Or should you spend a little bit more money, yet get double and or triple the mileage out of the pair of shoe that you invest in? So I hope that all of this information has been valuable to you. All I can do is just share the experiences that I've had with the different products that I try on trail, and I was so impressed with this shoe that I wanted to share it with you guys. And by the way, they aren't sponsoring me and they haven't provided any of these shoes. I paid for them myself, but I wanted to pass that information on to you. If you found it valuable, please like and subscribe. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one. Let me know if you know of any other shoe that would last somewhere in the upwards of 1,000 miles.